Hey everyone, so I know it's been quite a while since I posted a video. Totally should have done one at the end of February for my 4-month update, but I have been really busy with planning for my wedding. This lots of my family and friends know, but for those of you who watch and don't know me personally, I have a wedding coming up in May, so we've been busy planning for that and just lots of little things. I've been waiting to get some blood work done and get the results back, and I wanted to include that in my next video. So I guess today is kind of a 4.5 month update. I'll be 5 months at the end of March, but it works out well because I don't think I really have much for a 4-month and a separate 5-month update for you guys. So I guess the first thing, weight loss. I didn't meet my goal for the 1 year being in the bariatric program. I wanted to be down 100 pounds as of February 24th. At that point I was only about 94, 95 pounds. And in a few weeks since then it's been steadily going down, but some weeks it's been even less than a pound. So I'm only at like 97, I think 0.6 pounds lost so far. I'm still really happy with that. It was a little disappointing not to reach my goal, but talking to the nutritionist, she said, like, don't be heartbroken if you don't reach your goal. You're going to have plateaus. This is my first major plateau that I've had, so although inches are still coming off, my waist is getting smaller, jeans are baggy. Like I said, I was down to a size 42 or 44 in my jeans. Originally I was at a 54 or 52, and I was able to go down to a 42 in some brands and a 44 in others. And now the 44s need a belt for sure to hold them up. And some styles of the 42s, like the Walmart brands, need definitely a belt to hold them up. Yeah, so I'm still really happy with my progress. Feel like my meals I'm eating now are a little more, not normal size, but I can feel like I can eat decent amount to everybody else. I mean, it helps. One of the big things I do is use a small plate compared to everybody else, and it kind of makes my plate look just as full as everybody, so it makes your brain think you're eating more. As for new foods I've tried, for protein wise, really the only meat I've added in is pork. Just some pork chops. It's done a couple different ways. Those have worked pretty well. They tend to fill me up a lot quicker than like chicken or turkey. One of my favorites now is we do ground chicken tacos. Instead of having like a tortilla, the first time I tried it I had a tortilla and I could only eat like half of the tortilla before I was too full. I need to eat the rest of the chicken. So now when I make it I do kind of just like a taco salad with no tortilla or no chips or anything, just the lettuce and salsa, sour cream and chicken and the cheese. So, and I really enjoy that. I've tried a couple other things. As I've said before, I am a huge pasta lover, and so actually one time when I went to Costco and I was running low on the red lentil penne I've talked about before, they didn't have it. The only other option they had was an edamame and mung bean spaghetti, and I was kind of unsure about it. I didn't want to commit to buying a like 1 kilo box of pasta, and if I didn't like it, having all that left over or throwing it out. So we went to another grocery store and just bought a much smaller box and tried it, and it was horrible. I could not stand the taste of it. It was really gross. I had made homemade pasta sauce, and usually that just makes whatever pasta you have it on just so delicious. Nope. It was horrible. Even my fiance had it and she couldn't stand either. I'll see if I can insert the picture of that because her face was pretty priceless when she tried it. But so the next time I went back to Costco, actually, we do a lot of shopping at Costco, just because that's where they get my like protein bars and a couple other items here I'm going to show you. I got this other pasta. It's the same brand as the red lentil penne. It's actually a green pea rotini. It's made with green peas. Still has lots of protein in it. 19 grams per one serving. I mean, I can eat about a half to 3/4 of a serving, depending on if it's just like plain tomato sauce or something like that. Sometimes most of the time I put like peppers and mushrooms and carrots in it to add some veggies in there. But yeah, that one's really good too. Much better than the edamame and mung bean pasta. It isn't as good as the red lentil pasta, just because when you do eat it, it breaks down slightly differently and you get like a really mushy feel in your mouth. And the pasta's not overcooked, it's the way it feels when you chew it. But it is a close second to the red lentil penne. Miles and miles above the edamame bean. I also tried, I don't know if I mentioned a while ago, I tried some chickpea spaghetti as well. And it was okay, but this green pea pasta still rates above the chickpea spaghetti. So every time I try a new pasta, I'm sure I'll let you guys know where it rates on my scale of the ones I've tried. One other thing that I actually had quite often before surgery, because it was kind of a healthy alternative to a nighttime snack, and yet it still felt like satisfying, kind of like ice cream. And Costco hasn't carried them for most of the months over the winter. And now they started bringing them back, and they are these Healthy Choice Greek yogurt bars. So there's strawberry and blueberry. They're really good. Basically taste like ice cream, but I get 5 grams of protein in per bar, so it makes a good bedtime snack for me. Gives me a little bit of protein. Not much sugar. There's only 90 calories per bar, so I'm really happy we found those again. They're still on and off because it's winter time and they're not carrying all their full line of frozen dessert products right now. So yeah, that's really all that's kind of new and going on with meal stuff. I kind of stick to the regular now with my lunches and stuff like that, or when I make a meal for supper, I make enough for to have leftovers for the next day. I've started adding more fruit and veggies in, or more so fruit during the day, because I'm getting a lot of veggies around supper time and during the day as well. But so bananas have been fine. I can't eat nearly a whole banana. I get like a third to half the way through and I'm done. Strawberries routinely I have, raspberries, and more recently pineapple. Costco has sliced pineapple. See, we like to shop at Costco. Sliced pineapple ready to go, and I like taking that. Again, it's like a one slice kind of thing, and I'm pretty well full. So I've slowly been able to eliminate some of my snacks, and my meals are a little bit bigger, and I can have some fruit with them, or veggies, or stuff like that, like cucumber or peppers cut up as well. So have more options, it feels like now. Still can't have any red meat. That's not till the 6-month point. When I go over to family, they have it quite often. Like it doesn't seem like we ate red meat all that often, but when we go over to family's house, they're cooking steak or roast beef or meatloaf. All of this has been in the last like 3 weeks that we've been over to somebody's house and that's what they cooked. But our family's all great and they cook me something different, and I mean, I have no problem with it. I don't even miss the red meat. I thought I would a little, but I mean, I've had ground chicken and ground turkey, and that in place of ground beef has really been fine, and I don't really miss steak, which is weird. I kind of thought I would, but they did say before surgery that some people have aversions to meat afterwards, and I don't know if you call it aversion. I'd probably still eat it if I could and it was put in front of me, but I don't think I'd go to the store and pick out a steak over a chicken breast now or something like that. So yeah, that's about all on the food front. So I did get some blood work done recently for my family doctor. The bariatric program in Regina has not asked for anything to be done until my 6-month post-op appointment, which should be somewhere near the end of April, so I'll do a 6-month update for you guys then. And everything was great. Triglycerides, cholesterol, my blood sugar, my A1C were all great. He was actually really happy with those results. There was a couple items that he was concerned about before I even got tested. He said, typically my family doctor deals with patients who go to Mexico to get this procedure done. He sees them every 2 weeks and gets blood work done every 2 weeks. And with the bariatric clinic taking care of my program basically in Regina, he was pretty sure that my supplements and stuff would be on track, that I wouldn't be deficient in too much. So he checked. He was concerned about my calcium, which was fine. And iron he was concerned about, and actually my blood test showed was my iron in my blood was low, but my iron stores were fine, which indicated that my iron stores would probably quickly start depleting and I needed to start taking an iron supplement to replace some of those stores. And my vitamin D was also still low. And as long as lots of you guys probably know and who followed me from the start, my vitamin D has always been low. It's steadily coming up. Every time they tell me it's low, I go on the liquid vitamin D drops for 4 to 8 weeks in hopes that it brings it up. And it's slowly bringing it up, but every time I seem to go back to the 3,000 or 2,000 units a day, it just kind of slowly inches upwards. So it's just below the acceptable range. So we're back on liquid vitamin D for that right now. But I did have an interesting problem happen now, adding in this iron supplement. So I thought I'd kind of go through my routine for you guys now. I actually went and got a pill sorter from just the dollar store that has for each day 4 slots, morning, noon, evening, and bedtime, just because I have so much to keep track of now, and I'll kind of go through why it's so much to keep track of. So I've switched off of the liquid calcium now. I was allowed to do that as of 6 weeks, and I kind of just finished what I had, and it was quite pricey compared to calcium citrate pills, and I have to be taking the citrate because it absorbs better than calcium carbonate. A lot of people have that question of why the citrate over the carbonate. So I'm taking this Jamieson calcium carbonate now, or sorry, calcium citrate. Each pill is 250 milligrams, so I need 500 milligram dose in the morning and a 500 milligram dose at the end of the day. So I take 2 pills. The thing is, these pills are huge. I'm not supposed to have anything bigger than a Tic Tac, so basically I cut them into 4s. Sometimes 2s I can get away with. Sometimes the halves get stuck a little bit in my throat. So it's anywhere in the morning from 4 to 8 pills for just getting the calcium down, and same thing at the end of the day. So I'm used to that now, so it's not such a big deal. But then I have my iron supplement, which is ferrous fumarate, and it's the highest dosage that my doctor gave me. It's 300 milligrams. I also take this twice per day. And then I also have my multivitamin that I've been on, the Jamieson multivitamin chewable, and my vitamin D drops. I'm also on the solid vitamin D pills when I'm finished the drops, but for the next 8 weeks I'll be on the liquid drops. And I also have my allopurinol for helping lower my uric acid, which is actually now perfect, within range, my blood work showed. But now the dilemma I have is I have all these supplements, and I went to my pharmacist and I said, so the calcium is not supposed to be taken within 2 hours of my multivitamin because it'll affect absorption. So I've already spaced those out, and nothing's supposed to be taken within a couple hours of my allopurinol for lowering the uric acid. Vitamin D can be taken whenever, they said. But now I need to add iron in, and the iron pill could not be taken within, they suggested 2 to 4 hours of anything. So now my routine is I wake up in the morning, I take my calcium citrate. I set myself a timer for 2.5 hours because without timers I wouldn't do it until I just started this about a week and a half ago. So I need the timers to make sure I get all the doses in. So 2.5 hours later I take my first iron supplement and then set my timer again for 2.5 hours. After that 2.5 hours I take my multivitamin, set it again for another 2.5 hours. And after that 2.5 hours I take my allopurinol and my vitamin D together, and then another 2.5 hours later I take my second dose of calcium for the day, and then finally 2.5 hours later again I take my last iron supplement. And I mean, the 2.5 hours is give or take a little bit. I just need it to be a minimum of 2 hours. So, but with 6 different things to take, all spaced 2 hours apart, that's 12 hours. I need to be bang on. There's no way, the pharmacist said 4 hours if you can, and I said there's no way I can give it 4 hours between everything. I'd be up all day and night. So it's been interesting. It was a struggle at first, but now I started using the timers, and it's the only way really I've kept on track. Probably this will be my routine eventually it'll be my routine, and I can just remind myself all the time, okay, I need to take this, need to take this. But right now, a timer is the way I have to go. So that was a little, I don't know if you call it discouraging, or it's not really discouraging. It's just like, oh, another thing to add to take. It's not a big deal, but the 2 hours part was kind of annoying. So I'm happy. Everything in my blood work showed good progress. Basically, it showed blood work of like a healthy person, besides low iron, low vitamin D. Like I said, the weight not coming off as fast as it was, but I was expecting a plateau. I actually thought I'd have one much earlier than this, so it was bound to come, so I'm not too bummed by it. And I mean, the inches are still coming off, and that's what matters. It means there's probably fat going away somewhere, and it's being replaced with muscle somewhere else in the body. So I have been doing a little bit of strength training, not as much as I should be, but I've been more focusing on the walking and getting 10,000 steps a day on my Fitbit. So that's been going okay so far. My energy level, I think, has increased since my 3-month video I did for you guys. Kind of been able to just be up longer in the day, but usually in January, beginning of February, by the end of the day, I'd just be exhausted. If I got anywhere close to 9,000 steps, I just couldn't do anymore. I'd have to come home and just like lay down. Now I can basically go from like 8 in the morning until 10:30, 11 at night. Don't get me wrong, it's some nights and mornings it's hard, but it's easier than it was. So my energy level has definitely increased, which I'm really happy about. And so yeah, I think that's everything for you guys. If anybody has any questions, they can leave them in the comments below. Thanks for watching. If you stuck around to wait for me to finally post another video. Bye.